There we go. So we're gonna be looking at a lot of stocks live here. Yo, what's up for you guys watching this on the YouTube replay? I appreciate y'all. Here's my portfolio on the day. So far, my account is down 0.5% on the day. We actually have some stocks that are green, like McDonald's usually does good when other stocks are doing bad. Energy's green, but if we go to big tech right here, like Nvidia's down one, Apple's down two, Microsoft is green. Actually, let me pull up my Moomoo portfolio real quick. I know Amazon's getting hurt. Yeah, Amazon, they are down 2% on the day. So yeah, they're falling a little bit. But we do have some winners right now. Comfort Systems, Powell Industries, and then I haven't even checked at my Weeble portfolio all day. So this right here is my growth portfolio. Let's see. So we're up 6% all time in here now. Let's go. We're up $1,000, which is cool. And these are all the stocks that we own in here. So this is my risk on portfolio. We got some winners and some losers in here. Like we're down bad on Zoom. AMD has been doing a little bit better. We're only down 3% on them. My actual most recent purchase, so I wanted to share this. My most recent purchase is actually T-Mobile stock, and I want to give a quick analysis on them if this would load here. Yeah, I'm not at my house right now, so this internet might trip me up. Okay, here we go. Here's why I bought T-Mobile stock. They own Mint Mobile. I really like this company. Check this out. I mean, this is so impressive. T-Mobile has really grown their net income. They actually won a lawsuit against AT&T, and T-Mobile can literally just use all of AT&T's bands. And anyway, this company just prints money. I mean, it's up 34% year over year. But let's look at the net income. They made 3 billion of net income in the most recent quarter, and check this out, and like 6 billion of free cash flow. They're spending so much money buying back their own stock. So you now own 3.4% more of the company than you did a year ago. So, and their dividend only cost $1 billion. They actually just started paying their dividends. So their dividend cost $1 billion, and T-Mobile is making 3 billion in the most recent quarter. So T-Mobile can easily afford the dividend. You get a 1.5% yield right there with a 30% payout ratio, doing crazy buybacks. So yeah, that's why T-Mobile is my most recent purchase. Yo, what up, Bob? He said, "Do you think APLD is a long-term hold?" I do think so. As we know, APLD is owned by NVIDIA, and also APLD and CoreWeave just went into a huge partnership. Yo, what up, Danny? We'll look at AMD as well. So APLD, this is what I like to look at. Not a lot of people look at this, but I like looking at their cloud service business. And check this out. The revenue is up 220% from the previous year. I mean, this is some incredible growth. So, and it's going to see even more growth after this new partnership with CoreWeave. So that's what's really cool about them. I can also show you NVIDIA's portfolio if it would load. Here we go. So yeah, here's NVIDIA's port. Oh, nope, that's not it. Where is Jensen Wong? Here it is. So yeah, 90% of their portfolios in CoreWeave, and then they have 3% in APLD. And of course, APLD and CoreWeave go into a partnership. So anyway, yeah, let's keep looking here. T-Mobile has been good to me. Yo, David, you own T-Mobile? That's what's up, dude. You must be doing great on that stock. Yeah, that was my most recent purchase. I am down 2% on them, but I think the risk reward looks pretty fair here on T-Mobile. So I wanted to look at AMD now. Yeah, what up, Danny? He said, "Can we look at AMD?" So, yo, what's up? What 1.5? How's it going, dude? Um, so here's AMD right here. I do really like this company. I do own them, so I might be a little biased, but check this out. This is what I love so much about AMD. With them, look at their PC GPU market share. They have a 16% market share for GPUs, but I really like AMD as a data center play because check this out. Half of their revenue comes from data centers, and look at this data center growth. I mean, it's up 60% from the previous year. So there's seen some really nice growth there. And also the actual metrics here, like the free cash flow is up 91%, net income up 400%. I mean, they're making so much net income now. And look at this monster balance sheet. They have no net debt. So I really like AMD for that reason. Yo, Trapper, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Um, yo, what up, Nathaniel? Passage. Yo, what up, Christian? Um, Let's see, LVMH. Oh yeah, so you mean LVMUY. So this is Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, a lot of those luxury brands. And check this out right here. If we look at where the revenue comes from, it comes from fashion and leather goods, selective retailing, watches and jewelry, cosmetic perfumes. So a lot of these high margin businesses, but we've just seen the consumer toward these higher end products just not there. I mean, that's why LVMUY is gone down so much, and it's with all of them. If we look at VF Corp, if anyone's heard of Supreme, this is VF Corp. This is Supreme, the North Face, Vans, and some other stocks and some other companies, but this is at an all time low right here. Nike as well. A lot of these apparel brands are just getting hurt bad. I actually just sold out of Nike. But yeah, I do like them though. Let's see. Do you think Webull has some potential upside? I do actually. So this is an or no, this is a brokerage right here. So this stock we're looking at is literally just this app right here. So I am helping the stock out. I've probably given them a lot of transaction fees, and stuff like that. But anyway, I do like this one. Yeah, actually I decently like Webull. So let's see. Why is AMD not getting the love from the market then? It has been, but it's kind of underperformed. You're right. So check this out. I am still down 3% on them, but look at them since the low. I mean, it's actually recovered. Uh, oh. This is not good. Okay, see, this is the hotel Wi-Fi. Sorry. Okay, the hotel Wi-Fi is slowing us down, but we're back. Anyway, so AMD it's had a nice recovery since Liberation Day, and its bottom over from 78 all the way to 120. So it has recovered a lot more than like an average stock, but yeah, it's definitely well off its peak. You know, the QQQ is only like 2% off all-time highs. AMD is still a good like 30-40% off all-time highs. So yeah. This is my risk on portfolio right here. A lot of these are really risky. I do on Robinhood as well. You know, Robinhood and Webull are very similar stocks. You know, Robinhood mainly just likes to follow Bitcoin, but Robinhood's a 66 billion. Webull's only a 5 billion. So, yeah, I want to put all my money in ham radios. I heard they're the next big. What up, Teddy? Um, Let's see. Yo, Trapper, good to see you, homie. He said, "What do you think about KO Coca-Cola?" Yeah, dude, Coca-Cola. I really like this company right here. You know, the McDonald's Sprite goes crazy, but check this out right here. I love Coca-Cola as a dividend play. You know, you get the 2.8% dividend yield with this company. You know, they're trading at a 28 PE. Warren Buffett. Let me check the shareholders down here. Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway is the largest shareholder, which is basically Warren Buffett's portfolio. 9.3% of the company is owned by them. And look at the net income they make. I mean, they're such a consistent company. If we go into recession, people usually still buy sodas and stuff. But yeah, they're making 2-3 billion in net income a quarter, and you just get the nice dividend yield on that. You know what? Yeah, you know, Warren Buffett loves that stock. We can check Warren Buffett's portfolio. You know, largest holding is Apple, then it's Coca-Cola, Bank of America, Chevron, these oil stocks. So yeah, um, so Young Jordan said NVTS. So this is Navitas Semiconductors. So this company actually just partnered with Nvidia. So you know you get a partnership with Nvidia, the stock you know is going to tank, but it really saved the company because the company was actually going to go bankrupt. So they were a $2 stock before this. The future is going to change. The future is going to look a lot better, but for right now, this is why the stock went up so much because they were priced for bankruptcy before this. The revenue was down 39% from the previous year and they're losing a boatload of money. So the fact that they got in this partnership, like quite literally saved the company. So they're interesting. I don't know about the risk to reward buying it right here though. Yo, Iron Sky, how's it going, man? He said someone's Bob said, can you look at CoreWeave? So they just IPO'd, but I'll show you what I really like about them. You know, there's pretty much a built-in NVIDIA call on this one at like $40. Yo, try not to spam. Hold on here. Um, there we go. Sorry. But here's CoreWeave right here. So check this out. This is what I do really like about the company is the growth of their revenue. If we look at 2024 Q1, it was 188 million, but now it's 980 million. I mean, they have literally 4x the revenue. So the revenue is going crazy on CoreWeave. But you know, it's tough to buy this one right here at 147. But there's not much history of financials for us to look at here on CoreWeave. So I wish I could give you more thoughts on them, but there's not too much history for us to look at. But I love that their revenue is like 4x. Yo, Box, what's up, man? He said, can you look at SoFi? Yeah, dude, I love SoFi Technologies. I think this one's a decent buy. Yeah, I was going to say under 15. I thought it was still under 15. Well, it's at $15 right now. So let me show you what I really love about SoFi and why I personally think, again, not financial advice here, I just think they're going to continue to win. So check this out. If we look at where their revenue comes from, SoFi is a fintech. They have their own banking charter. And look at their financial services. I mean, this is the growth I want to own. I mean, this is incredible. The revenue has doubled, up 101% year over year. If we look at the lending revenue, lending's up 25%. So both of their main segments of business are growing like crazy. And we look at the net income, you know, they're making net income every quarter. You know, if we zoom out, no one used to take them serious. They just lose net income every quarter. So SoFi I actually do like as a hold. What stock kind of Let's see. Ticker symbol ODD. So this is Oddity Tech. What up, Jeff Mack? How's it going? Let's check it out. So a $4 billion company. They IPO'd just about a year ago. So let's check out the fundamentals here. And again, I am on some hotel Wi-Fi. I do apologize if the stream cuts out. But the revenue's up 26%. Great news. And they're making net income every quarter. So odd. Ticker symbol ODD is a profitable company. Pretty good balance sheet. Cash flow looks really strong here. So yeah, I see. Yeah, the free cash flow is 90 million. I'd like this company. They're profitable. They're not losing money. So yeah. Why are stocks going down right now? Because we didn't get any trade deal news with China. Yeah, here's our portfolio. I'll show you. Actually, let's see what's down the most today. If we go to our watch list here, Chewy's down. American Airlines is down 7. I know they just recently got into like a 60-person crash. It was so sad. And there's like new rules. But Krispy Kreme, oh, dude, y'all want to see a huge L? Look at this. We bought Krispy Kreme at $5.21. You can kind of see the blue line there. And here it is, all-time low at $2.75. You know, you got to be careful with some of these small caps. But yeah, Krispy Kreme's going bankrupt. Hard to believe. All right, let's keep looking at stocks here. What are you if you're going to hey Franco, thanks so much for the follow, man. Hope you're having a great day. Yo, Iron Sky said ALTBG. It's a France company, he said. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if I can view the France stock exchange here, so I do apologize. But let's keep looking here. Let's see. Can you look at Oracle because they report earnings today? Oh, do they? ORCL. So this is the huge cloud play. A lot of people like them. They also have a nice dividend. So let's see. Oracle. Accidentally added them to the watch list. Okay. So Oracle, they've actually done great. Look at that. They're pretty close to all-time highs. A $495 billion company. And look at that. You get a 1% dividend yield roughly. And yeah, here's the cloud service revenue. Actually, let's see. Cloud and license revenue. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah, look at that. It's up 8% year over year. About annual. And honestly, the best part here is the net income. Check that out. The net income's up 22%. So wait, revenue is up 6, net income grew 22. So that means they're growing their net margins. Margins grew 15%. So hey, honestly, Oracle's a nice cloud play. I do like them. Well, are you buying stocks? I haven't bought any stocks today, but actually, I did buy one yesterday. I bought a brand new position. I'll show you that real quick. So I haven't loaded up into Coca-Cola Consolidated. This is the Coca-Cola bottling company. If you look in the top middle, they traded at 16 PE. But actually, the most recent stock I've bought in, let me see if I can find it, is T-Mobile. I now own 4 shares of T-Mobile. I bought all my shares yesterday, or I bought another share today, actually. So yeah, I bought some shares yesterday. I bought another share today. So T-Mobile, really interesting one. I really like them. You know, they own Mint Mobile. Ryan Reynolds ads were genius. They traded at 21 PE, get a 1.5% yield, 3% in buybacks. I'm going to make a whole video soon about T-Mobile. Hey, if you want to support me, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Nathan Robert. I'm also streaming on there as well. All right, so John said Grab. So Grab Holdings, yo, this is a really cool company. So they do exactly what Uber does. So this is literally an international Uber, but check this out right here. Look at where all the revenue comes from. They do exactly what Uber does, but in all these other countries, you know, Indonesia, Singapore, and they got so much attention that Uber decided to buy them. Yo, what 15? Thanks again for all the roses, dude. Yes, have a great day, man. And look at Uber Technologies. They are now the largest shareholder. Uber owns 13% of the company. Toyota owns another 5. So anyway, I actually really like this company, Grab Holdings. And I really like Uber as well. I think Uber is a great stock. Do you think Nvidia will drop by quite a bit? I'm not sure. Let me check out Nvidia. I think in the long run, this is just a buy and hold. Yeah, they're down 1% on the day, but they're still pretty close to all-time highs. This looks like just an average day. If you look on the daily here, I mean, this candlestick looks like a normal day. What I love about Nvidia is the growth. I mean, they have a huge GPU market share. Nvidia has an 18% PC GPU market share. Their automotive revenue is growing. Here's why Nvidia really deserves all the hype. You know, if we look at their computer networking revenue, it's up 75% from the previous year. I mean, that's incredible. That's why I think they deserve the hype. And look at the net income. I mean, they're making $20 billion in net income a quarter now. The cash from operations was up 80%. The free cash flow, what was the free cash flow? 26 billion, record quarter. Wow. So anyway, I really like Nvidia. They just print cash. Yo, Joe Burton, he gave me a rose. I really appreciate you, man. I got you. He said, can we look at OMDA? Yes, for sure. Oh, so look at that. They just IPO'd. So this is the only history we have of the company. They IPO'd. They did not pull a circle or a core weave. So they went to 27 and now they're down at 15. Unfortunately, with these IPOs, like if I go to the revenue down here, yeah, look at this. There's not any history for me to look at. So, I mean, besides last year. So the revenue grew 56%, but it's still a really small company. It looks like they're getting close to profitability. But yeah, I wish I could give you more history on this company. I wonder what they do. Digital health services, online diabetes prevention programs. Huh, that's interesting. I got to do some more research on that one. Um, Okay, cool, man. Sounds like you know your hey, I'm definitely not an expert though. I've lost a lot of money on a lot of stocks, so I do appreciate y'all being here. So someone said Berkshire Hathaway. Should I hold it? Yeah, I think Berkshire Hathaway. I can't. There it is. This is Warren Buffett's portfolio. Oh, look at what this is telling me right here. There's a double top. Okay, well that's technical now. So what's so cool about Berkshire Hathaway? They've really outperformed the S&P 500. They crushed the S&P 500. Warren Buffett's portfolio. Warren Buffett did just step down, but they own Geico. If you've heard of Geico before, the insurance company, it's 28% of the business. They're basically an ETF. They own Dairy Queen. They own railroads, manufacturing, McLean Pilot. They're in so many industries. They own Apple. And I really like this company. They don't pay dividends, but they're always buying back their own stocks. So that's what's really cool about Berkshire Hathaway. And we've all heard of them before. um, is quantum something you're into? I really like quantum, but really my only quantum exposure is through Google. I think almost all the quantum small cap stocks are overvalued, like QBTS, D-Wave Quantum. There's so many of the quantum stocks are overvalued, but I like Google. I honestly believe Google, Microsoft, they're going to be the industry leaders. They have the money and the talent to be the industry leaders for quantum chips. I can show you the quantum list portfolio or the quantum chip watch list though. Where's quantum? Quantum computing. Okay, so yeah, Google, Best Play, IBM, Honeywell. But yeah, then I'd stay away from like the QBTS, the RGTI, QUBT. These are high momentum plays. They've done great. Like look at QBTS, but this is a $5 billion company right here. QBTS is a really popular one. They're a $5 billion company, and the revenue's 15 mil. And I just I can't pay that valuation personally, but there's so much hype around them. They're just momentum names. IBM's in a good trend. Yeah, I like IBM too. Yo, Samuel said ATD. Yeah, thanks for the compliment. Let me know if you're talking about this one. I got you. Are you talking about this one right here, the Canadian Aluminiation? Let me know if you're talking about that one. I don't know if you are, and if you are, I'll happily look at it. So, someone said Rocket Lab, or yeah, Jeff. Here's Rocket Lab right here. So, Rocket Lab just acquired a new company, and that really helped out their stock. They also have a huge backlog. They have a backlog of nearly $1.5 billion of orders that they just can't fulfill. I believe this is better than LUNR and ASTS Space Mobile. This is the best space play. And look at their space systems revenue right here. This is why I think so. The growth is phenomenal. The revenue's up 44%. And this is organic. And they just also acquired another company. There's going to be even more inorganic growth. So the growth is just going to be crazy. And that's why, with the increasing, sales, the increasing fundamentals, I think they deserve to keep on going up like this at Rocket Lab. So, yo, Devish, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Let's see here. Amazon, yo, Casper said Amazon stock. Yo, this is the world's biggest robotics play. They're not even priced like a robotics stock like a Tesla, but this is really the world's leading robotics play. And I really love Amazon. And that's just one segment of their business. They're also the number one market share for Amazon or cloud, Amazon Web Services. I mean, this is incredible. This is actually the most valuable part of Amazon. Did you know the most valuable part of Amazon isn't their shipping you packages, it's their Amazon Web Services. They have such high margins. It's over 100 billion of annual revenue for them now. It's incredible. If we look at the net income now, Amazon's printing money. They're making 17, 15, 17 billion a quarter. And the net margins keep growing here. So Amazon's a great one. I think you should just buy and hold for the long run. So innovative. Um, Oliver, why didn't CEG pump like the other nuclear stocks? Well, they kind of have, especially from their bottom here. But yeah, they haven't really done much. The past 2 weeks here. This is actually my largest energy stock right here. Here's my main, I haven't even shown this in a while. Yeah, here's my main taxable account right here. We're down 0.5% on the day. My second largest holding in here I'll show you my total percent change. Is actually CEG, Constellation Energy. They actually own 50% of all the US nuclear energy reactors. So they are the largest pure play for nuclear energy. And I really like CEG. Valuation's kind of topped out right now though. There's probably only like 20% more upside in them. So it's tough to buy them, but I really like them. Um, so we just looked at Rocket Lab, and someone said AST Space Mobile. Here's why I would personally rather buy Rocket Lab than AST Space Mobile. And it's just financials. I love looking at the fundamentals and the revenues. And look at this. This company doesn't really have any revenue. In the most recent quarter, it was 700,000. I mean, come on. I mean, 700,000 and they lost 60 million. So this company, Rocket Lab also loses money, but ASTS Space Mobile doesn't have the sales like Rocket Lab does. So yeah, look at that. I mean, they're doing 1 million in revenue a quarter. I bet they have. I can almost guarantee. Yeah, okay. So look at this data from SP Global. Look in 2 quarters, the revenue is supposed to go from 700,000 to 21 million. So they probably have some contracts they're going to recognize in the future. So I'd like to see that growth, but I'm just going to stay away from ASTS Space Mobile. I like Rocket Lab more probably. Bought 50 shares on the dip since the Meta announcement has gone down. Yeah, the Meta announcement, you're right, because they didn't have such as a good deal. Okay, bet. Yeah, let's check it out, Samuel. So he said ATD. So this is a Canadian company. Okay, so they've been public for like 3 years. Let's check them out. Do they pay a dividend? Yeah, you get a 1% dividend. They're growing their dividend every year. I like to see that. The PE's an 18. So that's a fair valuation, An 18 PE's a this is what they do. Road transportation fuel. So they just sell a commodity, but merchandise revenue and service. Well, this is the real growth driver. Look at that. It's keeps on going up. So let's check out the net income down here. So yeah, look at that. They're making a lot of money, like over 500 million. No, they're making like 2.5 billion in net income a year. 2.5 billion in net income, $69 billion company. Yeah, 18 PE. That seems really fair. I actually do like the fundamentals there. Um, Intel. So Intel stock, I don't know what happened with them. Did they just report earnings or something? I don't know. Look at that. They're down 6.6% on the day after they were up crazy yesterday and now they're down. I don't know. I didn't look into the news just because I stay away from Intel. I'd rather buy a TSM, an AMD. Intel's the one I wouldn't buy. And even though, look at this, here's why a lot of people like Intel. They're like, geez, it's 65% PC GPU market share. Let's go. But here's the bad news about Intel. There's no growth. The revenue's down year over year, but these net income losses, the net income's just so choppy over here at Intel. They lost 800 million. Then I don't know how it was possible, but they lost 17 billion that one quarter. The free cash flow is just as bad over here. So financially speaking, the huge net income losses, the bad free cash flow is the reason. Look at this stock. It used to be $70 and now it's chilling at, 20. So they really need to fix their financials, start getting net income positive, and free cash flow positive because they're burning money hand over fist. So I'd probably rather buy a TSM. Yo, Adam, how's it going, man? So someone said, APLD. Yeah. So you know what? Let me show you this. If we go to NVIDIA's portfolio, yo, Alex, I'll look at Netflix after this. Remind me to look at Netflix. I love that company. So where's NVIDIA? Oh, it's up here. NVIDIA's portfolio. So if we go to NVIDIA's portfolio, these are the stocks NVIDIA owns. They own some WeRide, Nebius, and one of the stocks they own is APLD. I really like this company right here, and they just rallied like crazy on a new partnership with another company owned by NVIDIA, CoreWeave. And check this out. This is what I like to look at on APLD. It's this cloud service business. It's really grown pretty incredibly. A year ago it was 2 million. Now it's 17 million. And last quarter, 27 million. So they've seen a lot of growth on the cloud service. And it's going to grow even more with this new partnership with CoreWeave. So there's just going to be a lot of growth in the future. And high growth stocks usually trade up in premium because there's going to be more, sales and the business gets bigger. So yeah, let's look at Netflix right here. Not a lot of people talk about this one just because it's tough to always buy them. They're always at a premium valuation. I don't own them. I'd like to own them, but I don't know if I'll ever find this one at a reasonable valuation. But check this out. Look at their premium subscribers. It jumped up from 282 million to 300 million. So they got 300 million premium subscribers and they make so much money now. They're making over 2 billion of after-tax net income every quarter. The free cash flow is incredible as well. It's nearly 2 billion a quarter as well. So they just make so much net income from their subscription. So yeah, they're kind of tariff resistant as well. How are you going to tariff Netflix? So yeah. Let's see here. Yo, Monkey D. Luffy, good to see you. Oh, Marcutio. Wait, I saw that one first. Let me look at Marcutio's and then Luffy. I got you. Remind me. ABCL. So here's AB Solera Bio. Okay, so this one looks really risky. I'd stay away from this one probably. This whole company's worth 900 million, but they have done pretty good the past couple of days here, but very small market cap on this one. Let's see. Yeah, so look at the huge. They keep on missing expectations, and that's not much revenue either. Yeah, look at that. So the revenue was 4 million. Yeah, this is not what you want to see. This is why the stock's at all-time lows. The revenue's down 57% year over year to just 4 million, and they lost 50 million. Wait a minute. They've lost nearly 200 million in the past year, and the whole company is worth 900 million. So yeah, I'd stay away from that one. Could be a fun little short-term swing trade, but I'd be careful. Biostem Technologies, thinking about investing. Yo, what's the ticker symbol for that one? Let me know, KKB. I'll check it out for you. Hasn't Netflix been losing market share? I don't know. They might have been losing market share to Disney and YouTube TV, but I own Disney as well. Disney's actually been performing extremely well, weirdly. So yeah, we bought them on the tariff dip right here, 16 shares, and it's just done pretty good. So again, no, dude, Disney, look at them on the weekly though. Terrible. Disney's the same price that it was back in 2015. So they've been flat for a decade, even though I'm up 40%, the stock is still down from 10 years ago. So Zim Shipping. So a lot of people like this one as a higher yielding dividend play. Whenever there's supply chain problems and war fears, people got to use Zim's shipping lanes and stuff. But here's why people like them. It's for the dividend. They have a rule where literally 50% of all the income they make will be returned in a dividend. So whenever they make net income, they're returning money to you. But sometimes if we look at last year, they weren't making any net income. They were losing a lot of net income and they didn't pay dividends those quarters. And here's what's so crazy. If we get another 2022 scenario, look at 2022's dividend. It was $27. That's crazy. The whole stock right now is $16, and in year 2022, they returned you $27. So that's kind of crazy. But I don't really expect them to outperform the market in the long run. Oh, yeah, Luffy. Let's check this one out. SPSC. What's this one? So SPS Commerce. Okay. $5.2 billion company. They've done pretty decent, but there was some news. They reported earnings and there was bad news on it. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. So, I don't know. It seems like they've been beating the expectations. Let's see. I mean, they're profitable. Let's check this out. So revenue is up 21% year over year. Net income's up 23. Yeah, everything's at like a record right now. Very strong balance sheet. Pretty much no debt on that company. What about the free cash flow? Yeah, the free cash flow is great. So I don't actually understand why this stock is just looking at the financials here. I don't actually see why this stock should be at this low of a valuation. That one might actually be a decent buy the dip. So so here what they do. They do fulfillment. Analytics, one-time revenues. That's interesting. The PE is a 60, so they do still trade at a high valuation, and that's real as well. So the valuation is just a little high. I think maybe they just dipped down to get back into reality. But yeah, I like them. Yo, what's up? He said AISP stock. Yeah, what up, Demilius? Hey, if y'all are enjoying, don't forget to drop a like. I'd appreciate that. So here's Airship AI. Okay, so if you look in the top right, it's a $158 million company. So very small market cap. I usually don't like owning these just because they're so tiny and they're so risky. And look at that. Yes, see, there's such small revenues. The revenue is $5 million. The revenue actually fell 50%. And yeah, this is what you definitely don't want to see. Look at that. They have like twice as much liabilities as they have assets. And was that real? Yeah, they didn't actually make net income in the most recent quarter. Did they sell an asset to get that? Oh, it doesn't show me, huh? Well, anyway, I'd be super careful with this stock right here. It could be a fun momentum swing trade, but I wouldn't like buy and hold that one for the long run. So let's see. Yo, Danny Sog, how's it going? He said, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, man. He said KULR Technologies. I think this is another quantum name. I don't remember. Maybe it's a space stock. Let me actually just double check. Licensed carbon fiber thermal management. Huh. Energy management. Okay, so look at that. They have 2 million of energy management platforms, so not much, but look at this little metric I just noticed here. Look what this company does. I guess they're mining some Bitcoin in the most recent quarter. They made 250,000 for Bitcoin miners. So maybe a lot of people like this one because now they have some exposure to, oops, I clicked off. They have some exposure to Bitcoin. You see, because if we look at their energy management business, I mean, nothing's really blowing me away here. Actually, well, 10 million of annual revenue now. The growth looks good, but you're comparing to small numbers. Yeah, 2 million. I would still be careful with KULR. I don't know if I'd buy them right here. But I mean they'll still move with Bitcoin though, I feel like. And I'm not trying to be bearish on anyone's stock here. I just try to show it how it is. So, Devish said LVMUI. So yeah, this is the company that owns Louis Vuitton, Hennessy, Moet, Dior, and a lot of the higher end consumer spending has really slowed down. We can see that in Nike, we can see that in Supreme, Gucci stock, and look at that. Stocks that are pretty fallen pretty significantly. And I actually really like this one because of their high margin products. They sell leather goods, they sell watches and jewelry, they sell perfumes, and I really like that. And the net income did fall 20% year over year, though. So that might be why the stock has fallen so much. The net income has declined, their profits have, but they're still making net income, and a lot of it. They have a nice dividend, a 2.5% dividend. I actually like Louis Vuitton stock way more than like a Nike right now. Nike actually can't afford their dividend right now, and I actually just completely sold out of Nike. I'd be careful. Lululemon just tanked as well. So yeah, I don't want to get, these are probably boring stocks. No one really looks at these, but yeah, these apparel stocks have really been getting hurt recently. Lululemon just reported earnings, very bad guidance on them. Anyway, let's keep going here. TSLY. So yeah, what up, James? Yo, I don't really like these right here. So someone said TSLY. This is the Yield Max Covered Call Tesla ETF. So Tesla is an asset you want to sell calls on because you get such a high premium, but these just won't outperform the market. Like TSLY, if we look at the yield, what's the dividend yield? They're claiming you get 116% in dividend yield, which is just unsustainable. The stock, you're selling calls on Tesla, you get a high premium, they just pay you out the premiums in a monthly dividend. So you basically buy that to maximize your dividend income, but I really don't expect you to outperform the market in the long run. Um, here we go. SoFi. Yeah, what up, Trap King? How's it going, man? So I love SoFi. We got 24 shares of them. They're at like $15. Yeah, look at that. They've done pretty good today. And they're up 5%. A lot of the market is down today. So pretty cool on SoFi. Here's why I really like this one. I think if I had any shares, well, I do have shares and I'm up 115%. Here's why I wouldn't sell SoFi at right here. I wouldn't sell out of SoFi right here. Check this out. It's because they're still growing like crazy. Look at this right here, the financial services business. This is such incredible growth. I mean, the revenue is up 101% year over year. Their financial services, also the lending revenue is up 25%. That's really solid growth on SoFi. They're also making net income every single quarter. A lot of people can take SoFi serious because they used to lose a lot of net income every quarter. So that one I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't take any profits on them. I actually regret taking profits on them. Um, why is Microsoft just keep on going to all-time highs every day? Yeah, dude, Microsoft is such a great company to just buy and hold for the long run. They've beat Apple. They're bigger than Apple and Nvidia. If we go to the mega caps right here, and search by market cap, I believe Microsoft is the number one world's biggest company. You know, if it would, hotel Wi-Fi. There we go. So yeah, Microsoft 3.5, Nvidia just real close. Wow, look at that. Nvidia's about to pass Nvidia's about to pass Microsoft. But anyway, let's go look at Microsoft right here. They own 50% of ChatGPT, which actually has a lot of, annual recurring revenue now. But look at this. They have three main segments of business, personal and business, their intelligent cloud, more personal computing. Like, look at their intelligent cloud business. I mean, it's seen some very solid growth. It's up 20% from the previous year. Like, this is just such incredible growth on Microsoft. And it beat expectations. Let's see. Yeah, they beat on EPS by a huge margin. Analysts were expecting 320. They reported 350. So they keep beating earnings. Everything about Microsoft is perfect. They have a better credit rating than the US government. So Microsoft's pretty cool. Yo, right, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yo, my friend Ryan, he loves in the money calls. Yo, Ryan, you just send your Discord link. I don't know if, anyway, it's Main Street Capital. And yo, Kenji, why are we down? Any ideas? There was no Trump deal. I think that was like why the market's fallen, but I'm not too sure. I mean, again, if we look at the market, we're just 2% off all-time highs. Like, look at the QQQ right here. All-time highs was, 340 or 540. We're at 532. I mean, we're barely off all-time highs. So there's no real dip in the market. I get that. But yeah, we are down on the day. And someone just said Main Street Capital. Here's our Roth IRA as well. I have a small Roth IRA here. But one of the stocks someone just said was I don't know what Main Street Capital right here. If you like higher yielding dividend stocks, this is one of my favorite ones. They pay you monthly. Look at that. I got a $2.50 pending dividend coming in from Main Street Capital. And I'll show you that real quick. They can easily afford the dividend. So this company has a 6% dividend yield. So you get 5.5% of your money back a year in a dividend, and you get the nice stock price appreciation. But check this out. They pay you 25 cents every month in a dividend, and sometimes they make so much money, they pay you twice in 1 month. Like right here, they did an extra 30-cent special dividend. Just for quick math, I'll be quick. They make their dividend costs 75 cents a quarter. And look at that. They're making easy over $1 a quarter. They can easily afford this 5.3% dividend. They're a BDC anyway. Great high yielding dividend stock I like. Let's see. Oh, yo, what up, KK? He said BESM stock or BSEM. Let's check it out. So Oh yeah, you were just talking about this one, Biosystem Technology. So it looks like they just IPO'd literally in April. That was the worst time to IPO in April. Wow. But they've actually held up pretty strong, but they're still a very, very small company. This whole company is worth $230 million. So very small market cap. Let's see. Advanced Wound Care. Okay, so they're like a healthcare stock. Um, what's the revenue on this company? So look at that. Oh, that's from 2023. 2025 Q1. So yeah, they just IPO'd. We don't have too much data, so that's the unfortunate things about them. I wish I could give you more thoughts on them, but it looks like they just IPO'd. Let's see here. Buy SoFi. I do like SoFi. I don't know about buying them right now though. At 15, under 15 seems like a better price. But someone said SMR, new scale power. So yeah, a lot of the nuclear energy stocks are going up with Trump's he wants to speed up the nuclear energy stocks. And look at this one. They're up 20% on the day. And does this one have any revenue? Let's see. Hopefully, like I know OKLO is a startup. So, oh, yeah, they just got this new contract. So check this out. They used to have no revenue. The revenue before this was, look, 900,000. Now it's 13 million. So they did just increase that. They got some new contract or something. I don't know. I do like SMR. I like CEG as the best nuclear energy play. Let me see if I can find the nuclear energy watch list right here. I think there was a nuclear energy watch list. Maybe it's gone. Oh well. But I know OKLO. A lot of the other ones are tough. Let's see. Oh, O'Reilly. Yeah, yo, Ryan said O'Reilly stock. Yeah, so we all know the little theme song. You know the automotive business. This stock, if you're wondering why is O'Reilly's done so good, it's mainly thanks to their stock buybacks. They literally buy back 5% of the company every year. Like the net income isn't growing. Nothing's growing here on the company. Revenue's up 4, net income's down. They're losing their margins, but the stock is at an all-time high anyway because they're such a buyback play. They're also a bit recession resilient. You know, your car breaks down, you need a new part. You're still going to fix that in a recession, you know, or you can't drive. So, in that they look at this very leveraged balance sheet. They have more liabilities than assets. That's not a for most stocks that would be bad, but not O'Reilly. So they're such a unique company, kind of like AutoZone. Yeah. Joey said EXLS. What's this one? EXLS. XL service. So check that out. They're at like an all-time high pretty much, or just a couple percent off. $7.8 billion company. That's actually a very solid market cap. Let's see. So they're an insurance business. I do like the insurance sector. Um, the insurance companies make so much money. But yeah, look at the growth here on just the insurance business. It's seen some very solid growth. They're also, you know, in other industries. They're in healthcare and life sciences. Looks like this is a new segment of revenue, banking and capital management. So I just like how diversified their revenue streams are. International growth. So let's see, are they net income positive? Yeah, look at that. Net income's up 36%. They're making 200 million plus a year. Revenue's up 14, net income's up 36. So that means they're growing their net margins 20% year over year. So I like EXLS actually. I can see why they're pretty close to all-time highs. Yo, Adrian said ticker symbol hood. That's my biggest winner of all time. In terms of percent change, I don't believe it. I'm up 440% on this company. And I sucks for me. I took a lot of profits on this one a long time ago. But yeah, Robinhood has been performing amazingly. They mainly just follow Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin's pretty close to all-time highs, and Robinhood follows that. They're also just a great growth company. The revenue has grown 50%. And look at this net income. They're making hundreds of millions in net income every quarter now. They used to lose so much money. I could see why they've rallied so much. They were almost priced for bankruptcy. They were losing so much money, hundreds of millions a quarter. So now they're finally net income positive. Great sign for Robinhood. I'm also a customer. I have a Robinhood portfolio. Hey, the market just closed. I didn't realize that market closed 1 minute ago. We're down 0.55% on the day. How'd the Qs do? How did the QQQ? So NASDAQ 0.36%. You know, not the end of the world. uh, please don't. Yo, Abdullah, how's it going, man? You got a stock you want me to look at? Let me know. I'm not seeing one that you've said. Let me know if you got a stock you want me to look at. Devin said, look at DJT. Yo, the DJT stock. Let's see how that one's doing. So I haven't looked at them really since like his election. Yeah, look at that. I still remember looking at this one at like 36. So I wouldn't buy this one. You know, $5.6 billion company. I think they own Truth Social. I don't know. Yeah, so like, look at the revenue here. The revenue is $1 million a quarter, so $4 million of revenue. Obviously, the market cap comes from just the president, but I don't want to get into politics. But really good balance sheet. Wow, no debt, lots of assets. So they're definitely not going bankrupt, but they have little to no revenue. I'm never selling my 14 hood shares. Hey, Adrian, I saw that. Kajko Yi said, I think this is pre-recorded. No, the market did just close for me. I just said, hopefully it just closed for you. So this is not pre-recorded. Yo, Pinky, how's it going, man? Good to see you. So OKL, he said, yeah, it is. No, it's not. That's okay though. And hey, if y'all want to support me, best way to support me, I don't sell anything. The only thing I do have is a YouTube channel. Just go into YouTube and type in Nathan Robert. I'd really appreciate if you watch the stream from YouTube. You can also replay anything you missed on there. I just did a whole entire stock portfolio update. YouTube channel, Nathan Robert. Anyway, so here's OKLO. Look at this one. This is another nuclear stock. This one's at an all-time high. And check this out. They just got a new deal, Oklo, to provide a nuclear power to the Air Force Base. So that's pretty cool. The government's now the military is now a customer of them, but yeah, $9.5 billion company. A lot of the nuclear stocks have been going nuts. So yeah. So let's see. I hope I can find this one. POAHY. I might not be able to find this one. Okay, I did find it. This is Porsche. Oh, I'm gonna add this one to the watches. I didn't know they were public. They're not obviously on the U.S. stock exchange, but this is Porsche, the car company. The luxury cars. Unfortunately, look at that. The stock is down bad from 2019. Like, let me go to the monthly. Yeah, they're at an all-time low. No way. All-time low on Porsche since 2009. Let's see if we can figure out what's happening. So yeah, they're a European company. We'll just switch the revenue to US dollars just for simplicity here. Let's see net income. So yeah, don't know what happened last quarter. There was some sort of adjustment that crushed the company. They lost 24 billion in net income. Look at the balance sheet, it declined by 24 billion. So there was did they sell an asset? I don't know. I don't really know what happened there. I'd have to see what that was. That was hopefully a one-time adjustment. But because usually, look at that. If we ignore that huge, they're usually making like $1 billion a quarter, but the net income did fall 76%. I'd be careful. I can 7% dividend yield. They can't afford that. I'd be careful with Porsche. I'd rather buy. And this is an incredible stock. Look at ticker symbol race. This is Ferrari. Ferrari is like so great. I mean, the net income's incredible. They're making 400 million plus in net income a quarter. Ferrari customers aren't really affected by a recession. Anyway. What's the best place to buy stocks? Any Robinhood? Oh dang, I don't. Anyway, what do you think about UNH? Yo, Miguel, how's it going, man? He said United Health Group. So yeah, this stock fell in half, from 600 to 300. If they get actually found guilty and accused of fraud, they're going to be kicked out of Medicare for 5 years, and the Medicare revenue is half their business. So the stock probably moved appropriately, pricing this in, but the valuation, assuming that doesn't happen, is super, super, super dog cheap. So obviously the future is what we're worried about. That's why the PE collapsed. But they're trading at 13 times net income. They make so much money, we're making 7 to 9 billion of net income a quarter. Very profitable company. And they have a very nice yield, a 2.8% dividend yield right here. So assuming everything's fine in the future for them, I think they're at a great, great valuation. IBIT. Oh, isn't that the Bitcoin ETF? Yeah, what up, John? So yeah, if you want exposure to Bitcoin, you can just buy IBIT. You don't have to worry about losing your keys or anything. And since it's an ETF, it's SIPC insured for up to 250,000. So it really should just follow the price of Bitcoin. Porsche's German ticker is P911. Wait, really? Let's see. Oh, okay. On the stock exchange. Let's see. Yo, here's one of the best, just safety companies. Someone said Waste Management, or Muiz said Waste Management here. Dude, Waste Management, people always got to throw away their trash. And this company is actually owned a bunch by Bill Gates. Check that out. If you look at the second largest shareholder, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Fund is 8% shareholder. They own 8% of the company. So Bill Gates owned them. He sees something that other people don't. They're making so much net income. 6, 7, 800 million of net income every quarter. People always got to throw away their trash. I mean, it's just recession resistant, recession resilient as well. You get a 1.3% dividend. Even if you buy the stock at all time highs, which it is pretty much at all time highs, you still get the nice 1.3% dividend yield, and it just grows every year on top of that. So that one should just be a great buy and hold forever. How you doing, Nathan? Not been on stream for a while. Yo, Quack, or Kuwanko 0. I'm definitely saying your name wrong, but thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. Yeah, if y'all want to hit the follow button, we go live every day, twice a day. We just look at stocks and stuff. Also, the main way to support me, watch out for people impersonating me. I'll never DM you or anything like that. The only thing I do have is a YouTube channel. So if you want to help me out, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Nathan Robert. I'm also streaming on there. Anyway, here's QBTS D-Wave Quantum. Um, yeah, what up? The GOAT 500 said QBTS. So yeah, this is D-Wave Quantum. This is the main quantum momentum stocks. Whenever quantum stocks go up, this is like the main mover. This one's valuation is ridiculous, obviously, kind of like a Tesla, but it's just a momentum stock right now. It just moves with all the quantum names because they're worth 5 billion. They don't have the most recent quarter was impressive though. The analysts were expecting 10 million in revenue and they reported 15 million in revenue. Again, only 15 million, but they did beat expectations. But I don't think this one deserves a $5 billion market cap. But because there's so many like 2 to 3 billion dollar companies with incredible fundamentals like a Dave, an Innodata, a Perion. I mean, there's so many better stocks for the market cap. So I'm not trying to be bearish, but that's just kind of my thoughts on that one. But yeah, someone just IBIT to the moon. This is my bread and butter. Yeah, dude. Oh yo, Chuan said Innodata. So I just said them. Let's check them out. Um, hold on. Hotel Wi-Fi. Okay, sorry. Here's Innodata right here. This is such a great company in my opinion. Again, with these riskier kind of stocks, you don't want to have a huge chunk of your portfolio in them, but one I believe deserves a small chunk, a couple $100 position in my portfolio is an Innodata. And I have a lot of these stocks like a super microcomputer, a Reddit, a Toast, a Rumble. I want exposure to them, but only with very small amounts of money. But let's go check them out though. INOD. This is what I look for in a company. This is why I bought Innodata and why I think they're going to continue to win. Check out the revenue growth. I mean, no other company's growing like this. Their revenue is up 157% year over year. 50 million in revenue. And look, this is like a third of the market cap. So this is a $1.3 billion company. They're like 1/5 the size of a QBTS. And they're super profitable as well. Check that out. They're making net income every quarter now. This is now a profitable company. They have no net debt. The revenue is incredible and it's growing. Their main customers are literally, check this out. Their main customers are Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon. Incredible. So anyway, I like Innodata. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research, but that's one I own. Oh, Joey said FUTU. So this is actually one of my more recent purchases. So this company, this is a brokerage stock, but look at this right here. They make so much money that they just paid a $2 special dividend. This is a Chinese stock. This is the only Chinese stock that I own, but here's why I own them. You ready for this? This is incredible. Look at this revenue growth. Revenue's at a record. Revenue's up 81. Net income's up 109. This is incredible net income growth. The revenue's up 109% year over year, 2 billion. The earnings per share was $15, and of course they just did the special $2 dividend. That was nothing. So anyway, I like this one to buy more special dividends in the future. Sold 5 more Nvidia shares for Q. Hey Adrian, good to see you. How is 1.3% a good dividend yield? Oh, you're talking, yeah, 1.3%. I think that's a good yield. It's not TSLY, but yeah. What are your biggest holdings? My largest holding is right here, ticker symbol FIX right here, Comfort Systems. And then I also have my Robinhood account. I'll be quick about this, and then we'll go back to the stock analysis. But yeah, we got Carlisle, Constellation Energy. I love these. These are all S&P 500 companies. A McDonald's, a United Rentals, a Meta, Google. I love all these growth companies. Long term, I'd recommend. Yeah, I use Robinhood too. Yeah, they're cool. So let's see. United Airlines, United Airlines, one of their planes just crashed. Unfortunately, like 60 people passed away. So and there's like a lot, I saw the news on this like a day or two ago. They're being like heavily like watched right now. But United Airlines, oh wait. Yeah, no, that's American Airlines. It was American Airlines. Yeah, not United. But anyway, I just don't like the airlines as a great investment. I don't think the airlines will outperform the S&P 500 in the long run, and they never have. Like, look at that. This stock is basically where it was in 2019, which is unfortunate. They don't pay a dividend. Let's check out the net income, though. The net income is definitely getting better, though. They're making net income every quarter now, which is a good sign. So they are very profitable now. But when we go into recession, the airlines get smoked, and I just don't think United Airlines will beat the S&P 500 in the long run. What's a good ETF? Trying to throw. Oh, yo, QQQM is the lowest expense. It's the exact same thing as the QQQ. Look at that. So QQQM, pretty much at all-time highs. Again, it's tough to buy them, but The thing I would do, I would add QQQM to your watch list. Wait for this one to come down. It's the exact same thing as the Qs. Their top holdings is literally this Nasdaq 100. It's Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Broadcom, Meta, Netflix, Tesla, Costco, all the great 100 best companies right now. How do you feel about IPOs? I don't like buying IPOs. Usually, if you buy it before the IPO, you're not allowed to sell your shares, and usually IPOs just go straight down or straight up after. So, we'll look at SEHD as well. So here's Nike. Someone said, "Can we look at Nike?" Yeah, yo, Adrian or Arian, how's it going? I actually just completely sold out on my Nike. Unfortunately, they just lost all their growth, and the stock is probably priced appropriately. The revenue was down 9% on Nike, and their net income fell 32%. They actually, you see how they made 800 million? The dividend cost more than 800 million. They couldn't afford the dividend in the most recent quarter. Net margins fell 25%. So I would be careful with Nike. I think that's why they're, the same price as they were back in 2017. Dang. I used to love Nike, but they just sell a commodity, it's tough. There's only so much upside in that company. And the management really screwed themselves focusing on their online. It was just a mess. They took their shoes out of stores, then competition came in. I have so much to say about Nike, but I don't want to bore people. But here's SEHD. Yeah, if you're looking for a higher dividend ETF, SEHD is a great one. They have a 4% dividend, but because their main holdings are a lot of these higher yielding names, like a Coca-Cola, a Verizon, an Altria, a Home Depot, a Chevron, the oil and gas names. So that's a great 4% ETF right there. Yo, OKLO and SMR. Yeah, so OKLO and SMR, these stocks are going up today. OKLO, this is a nuclear startup right here. Check this out right here. They just got a deal. They're going to provide nuclear energy to the Air Force Base. So now they have a new partner, the Air Force. So that's, that's great news. The stock's up 30%. It is tough to buy any of those names right here at all-time highs. I wouldn't buy SMR or OKLO right now at all-time highs. It's very tough. Let's see, ZETA. So not Meta, but we got Zeta. So here's Zeta Global. So very small company, or not too small, $3 billion company. Unfortunately, the stock has collapsed. Let's go see if we can figure out what happened. Why did the stock go from 30 to 12? Let's check out the analyst expectations. I mean, nothing looks too terrible here. Realistically, let's see. Revenue's up 35, incredible growth. Net income, they're still losing net income, but they're losing way less net income than what they were losing. So they're deleveraging. Honestly, this one might be a little buy the dip opportunity. The financials don't, unless there's some other kind of news there. I mean, the fundamentals look really strong there. They might just be a little oversold right now. Let's see. Do we have non-American stock? I don't really look at non-American stocks. Like someone said, EPKKY. Let's see if we can find that one. Yeah, see, look, unfortunately, I can't view that one on this app right here. I do apologize. If you got another stock you want me to look at, Abdullah, let me know. Yo, South Pacific, good to see you, homie. NUWA stock, he said. Let's check it out. NUWA, wait. NUWA. I can't find that one either. That might be another international one. I do apologize there, South. I cannot find that one. Oh, Tesla. Yo, I have not looked at Tesla today, so we can do that. Gonna put Zeta in my watches. Yeah, Jeff Mack, they look pretty interesting. I wonder what they do. Yo, Joe, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. So here's a Tesla right here. This one we know has a ridiculous valuation. This is the one I just watch Tesla. I don't buy them because the valuation is really high. Like, look at this. They traded 186 PE. It's okay for a stock to have a high PE if they're growing a bunch, but here's kind of the bad news. Look at the total vehicles delivered. It's down 13% year over year. And that's 85% of the revenue. Look, 85% of their business is their automotive business. And look, year over year, it's down 15%. So it's no question that Tesla has lost their growth, but and they lost their margins too. Look at that. Net income fell 70%. So literally every financial metric that I look at for a stock, Tesla does not check the box for them. So I don't think this one deserves a $1 trillion market cap. And that's definitely not the popular opinion, but I don't like Tesla at that valuation, but it'll still go up. It's Tesla. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's NUWE. Let's check it out. NUWE. Yeah, I'll get to all the stocks here. Yeah, we'll look at Eric as well. Um, let's see. So here's New Wheelius. Okay, this stock's at like an all-time low. Yikes. Look at that. Look at the top right. This whole company is worth $1.7 million. That is such a small market cap. Oh, geez. And because of the reverse splits, this used to be an 88 trillion dollar stock because of all the reverse splits. So anyway, yeah, don't buy this one. I don't even think it's worth looking at the financials. I mean, just I, you gotta pray if you buy that stock right there. They're only worth $1 million. Anything could happen. Any sort of small movement. I mean, you could probably when you buy the stock, you could probably buy like 1% of the company. Okay, so here's Ericsson Telephone. Yeah, what up, Abdullah? Thanks again for being here. Ericsson Telephone. So $28 billion company. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, so this stock is the same price that it was back in 2003. So they might just sell a commodity. I don't know. So this is a okay. So I think that's. Oh, I'm not even. I should know what flag that is, but I don't. Maybe like Danish or Sweden. I don't think so. Anyway. Oh, I should know that. Okay. Oh well. Let's go look here. So networks, cloud software, enterprise. How's the cloud software? Yeah. So no growth here. Networks. Yeah. Look at that. Their networks revenue is lower than it was in 2018. So, but good news. Eric still makes net income every quarter. Well, actually, let's verify this. They do. So that was a one-time adjustment where the net income went negative. So they are making net income every quarter, but really nothing's blowing me away here to really want to buy this stock. I mean, 3% yield is good, but be careful. Is buying right now a bad idea if you're going long term? I'm not really. If you just plan to buy and hold for, 10, 20 years, you should always be buying slowly dollar cost average. But it is tough to buy here. The NASDAQ QQ were like just literally 2% off all-time highs. So barely down. Um, so yeah. Oh, Rumble stock. Yo, so this is the riskiest company I own. The riskiest stock I own is Rumble right here. And I already took a lot of profits on this company. I don't want to have any more money in this stock, but I'll keep 10 shares anyway. I mean, anyone heard of Rumble before? This is the bad news. They're losing a boatload of net income. I don't know how, but last quarter they lost 200 million. They only lost 2 million this quarter, but that was a one-time adjustment. They actually lost 36 million. The balance sheet, if you're wondering what happened, how their balance sheet just improved so much, if anyone's heard of Tether, the crypto, you won't believe this, Ryan. Tether, the crypto people, literally just donated like $200 million to them for no reason. I've never seen a company do that ever. Just get a donation. I almost didn't believe it. But anyway, they're like the free speech platform. I would not buy this stock. Yeah, but I do own them. What was the reverse thing with trillions? Oh yeah, we were talking about the reverse splits. So we were looking at some stock. They did like 50 reverse splits, and so whenever the reverse split, it makes the old stock price look higher. So since they did so many reverse splits, one share used to cost $88 trillion. So, okay. Uh, we have to wait for robots for Tesla to be worth it. Yeah, that's the thing there. Yeah, a lot of Tesla's market cap is pricing in the robo taxis, the robotics companies at Tesla. It's just tough to pay that valuation right now, but that's why Tesla has that $1 trillion market cap. Okay, WIMI. Let's see. Oh yeah, then we'll look at a CoreWeave. Yeah. So, oh wait, did we just look at this one? Yeah, another very small company. This is only worth $24 million, and the stock's at an all-time low. So that's very risky. Only worth 24 million. The stock is at an all-time low. They do augmented reality. So this is data from 2019. So they haven't actually sold any products since 2019. Is that true? Yeah, it is. It's a Chinese company too. So it's a Chinese company that hasn't sold anything since 2019, I believe. They're decent. Well, actually, it leveraged up, but the assets did grow. I just can't buy. The market cap is nothing on that one. I'd be so careful. Um, let's. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here, Chuan Bayan. I'm probably saying your name wrong. Chuan Beyond. Thanks for being here. He said CRWV. So let's see. CoreWeave. So CoreWeave. This is a great company because Nvidia bought so much of the stock at like $50, like built-in call option on CoreWeave at $50. But check this out. There's not much history, but here's the history we can see. 2024 Q1, they made 188 million. 2025 Q1, they make 980 million. The revenue has 4x'd in 1 year. It's incredible. So this is really an insane growth company. But I need to see more data. I mean, they're still losing money right now, but that's normal. There's been so much hype around them. Nvidia owns them, like 8% of the company. There's a lot of growth. I wish I could give you more thoughts on them. I do apologize. Yo, Luke, how's it going, man? Luke said CRCO. Y'all remember the Circle IPO? I still don't know what this does. I think it has something to do with Bitcoin, like a crypto exchange, or I don't know. But anyway, they had a great IPO. Robinhood was begging me. Robinhood said, "Hey, you want to buy Circle at $30?" I'm like, "No, I don't buy IPOs." And now it's at 117. I don't feel like I missed out though. Again, they have reserve income. How'd that do? Again, we don't have much history because they just IPO'd. Oh, look at that though. Whoa. No way. The revenue exploded up higher to 500 million in the most recent quarter, and they made net income on that. So Circle's a profitable company. They made 64 million. You know what? I'll add Circle to the watch list to potentially come back and look at them if they ever fall lower. So that's interesting. Circle's profitable, insane revenue growth right there. I can see why people like them. RG said ICHR. Let's see, ICHR Inker Holdings. So let's check them out. So the stock has not done too good. They're the same price as like the 2020 pandemic dip down here. Let's see. They have small market cap, a $600 million market cap. Yo, Zio, how's it going, man? So $600 million market cap. Let's check out their revenue here. Revenue's 240 million. That's actually pretty good. Revenue's up 21%. They still lose money on that though. They're losing less and less net income, which is the good sign. Yeah, they're only losing a couple million a quarter. That's no big deal. But you're worth 600 million and you are losing money, a couple million. This one could do like very great if they get profitable soon. Like honestly, that actually is interesting. If they're only worth 650 million, if they start making a couple million a quarter, you could be getting this stock for dog cheap as long as they can really get profitable like that. I'll add them to the watch list actually. That could be a nice upside play, but we got to see how the growth turns out in the future. If they start making a couple million a quarter, that stock could literally 4x in my opinion. I haven't seen a stock like that in a while. You got to be really careful though. Do you know any good augmented reality stocks? I mean, Nvidia is really an augmented reality. There's also Unity, but that's not a good one. I don't really know. Meta and the glasses. I don't know. Yo, VOYG, is it? Huh. Oh, so, hey, what up? South Pacific said VOYG. This company IPO'd today, I believe. Look at that. So they're up 82%. They literally IPO'd today. I wish I could give you thoughts on them, but I've never heard of them. Defense and national security. Hey, that's an industry a lot of people like right now. The defense and security industry. They don't have much revenue, but that's interesting. Do you think T-Mobile can increase revenues? Yo, so check this out. This is actually my newest purchase. If you're wondering what's your most recent stock you've bought, I bought this one today and yesterday. This is a brand new position for me. And this is T-Mobile. And someone just brought up a good point. They have some slowing revenue growth. And here's what is so cool about T-Mobile. Look at that. So you're right. The revenue is only up 6% year over year. So the revenue is 20 billion. It's hard to grow that. So revenue's up 6.5%. But look at this net income right here. This is the most impressive part. They're growing their net income 25% year over year. So the net income has expanded like crazy. So that means they're growing their net margins. They look at that. They used to have, single digit net margin, not too great of a business, but now they have this incredible double digit margin, and the cash from operations just literally exploded to an all-time high record. So the free cash flow's at a record, margins at a record. So I can see why T-Mobile has done so good. And T-Mobile, if anyone saw the Super Bowl ad, I did. That was actually this day right here. Oh wait, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Might have been the day after earnings. This might have been the Super Bowl day right here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They partnering with Starlink. So T-Mobile has a huge Starlink partnership. T-Mobile also defeated AT&T in a lawsuit where T-Mobile gets free permanent access to all their bands. They don't have to buy one or open one. T-Mobile's interesting. So that's why they're my most recent purchase. They're also an incredible buyback company. Anyway, let's go look over here. NETs, and they have the Mint Mobile as well, which has been so innovative, the Ryan Reynolds ad. So here's Cloudflare. Yeah, dude, Cloudflare, Jeff Mack, this is such a great cybersecurity stock. 20%, you ready for this? 20% of all global internet traffic which is incredible. 20% of all global internet traffic goes through Cloudflare in one way or another. And they've been growing their fundamentals incredibly. I mean, in 2018, 190 mil. Now it's 1.6 billion. I mean, they're making 500 million a quarter now. I mean, they making a quarter what the company used to make in a year in 2019. They made 400 million this quarter. That's more than the whole full year 2024 or 2020. So anyway, Cloudflare is great. They're still not net income positive, but they're trending there. They're still losing net income every quarter, but they're not losing that much money. It's no big of a deal. The free cash flow is growing. The free cash flow is up 48% year over year. So Cloudflare, really cool cybersecurity cloud company. Nathan, your TikTok just got banned. You're absolutely right, and I want to deal with that later. So this is why I appreciate y'all who are here on the YouTube stream. My TikTok account just got banned. You're right. The stream didn't get taken down. My account just got banned. So anyway, all right, let's keep going here. Yeah, if you guys got any stocks, let me look at it in the YouTube chat. Let me know, because this is all I can look at right now. Thanks for doing this, by the way. It's so helpful to watch someone about this stuff. Yeah, Carl, I just try and show you my honest thoughts. I'll show you the numbers for yourself so you can draw your own conclusion. I don't sell anything. I don't have a course book, Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram. I'll never DM you or follow you. So watch out for people impersonating me. All I ask is that you'd hit the subscribe button and go check out some of my more recent YouTube videos. I just made a video, 3 great stocks to buy now. I think it should interest you. CrowdStrike. Yeah, so CrowdStrike, this is another great cybersecurity name. We just looked at Cloudflare. There's also CrowdStrike, and that one's so big. Nancy Pelosi loves that one as well. We go to Nancy Pelosi's portfolio. CrowdStrike is 4% of her portfolio. Here's a cool stat. Did you know 35%, and I checked this, 35% of all S&P 500 companies, all the S&P 500, 35% of them use CrowdStrike in their cybersecurity platform. So a lot of people use them. Probably the best cybersecurity software subscription out there for Checkpoint Solutions. CrowdStrike is literally at an all-time high. They had that outage. If anyone's remember the CrowdStrike outage, they're still seeing losses from that. So the net income is back to negative because of those one-time outage costs. Because of CrowdStrike's faulty update, it made every flight in the air stop. It was crazy. I have a short about it on my YouTube channel somewhere. It made all the planes have to land. It took down all the PCs. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's see. Apex. Yeah, thanks for showing up here. LAES. Let's check it out. So, this is Seal SQ. I don't remember what this company does. Well, here's some news right here. It extends relationship with Landis to offer utilities. This just sounds like a lot of words. I don't even know what they mean. Meter security, AMI network, PKI services. It sounds fancy. Let's go check them out though. They're up 10% on the day. What's the market cap? So yeah, very small company. They're only a $500 million company. So you still got to be careful with that. Yeah, so I don't love this. The revenue's fallen 60% from the previous year, and the net income went super negative. They lost 20 million, and the whole company is worth 500 million. So they lost nearly 8% of the company in market cap. I'd just be careful with this one. Nothing's really blowing me away here to really want to buy this one. It's looking like a momentum trade right now. It could be a fun little momentum stock, but I don't know if I just buy shares and hold this one on to the long run. And there's a small chance it could go bankrupt or something. The revenue is 6 million. So yeah. Oh, let's see. IPAR. Let's check this one out. IPAR. Yeah, we'll look at the VOO as well. What up, Pierre? How's it going, man? So here is Interparfums. So I haven't heard of this stock before, but a $4.5 billion company. That's actually really solid. The stock is pretty close to an all-time high. It's kind of been barcoding. Like, look, oops, look at that daily rally. I mean, they've gone pretty much straight up for the past 30 days. They pay a dividend, a 2% dividend. That's a nice yield. They've really increased their dividend recently. Fragrances and fragrance-related products. So maybe they sell like perfumes or stuff like that, high margin stuff, Revenue is 300 million, and they're making net income every quarter. That's actually a great sign. That's what I do like about this company. They're making a lot of net income every quarter, pretty much 50 million in net income a quarter. Really solid balance sheet as well. Not too leveraged. So yeah, hey, that's an interesting one. The beauty and cosmetic stocks, I'd rather buy them over like an Estate Lauder. Michael Burry, if anyone's heard of Michael Burry, the guy from The Big Short in 2008 or whatever, he only owns one stock. He just sold all his stocks last quarter, and the only stock he now owns is Estate Lauder. This is a beauty and cosmetic stock. It's actually decent. I mean, look at that. So skincare, makeup, fragrance, a lot of these higher margin products, but the net income's just choppy. They lost 500 mil last quarter, but they did make 150 million in the most recent quarter. They really need to keep that up, but that's why the stock has fallen so much. Oh yeah, the VOO. So yeah, this is just the S&P 500. I think it's the lowest expense ratio, or it's like tied for the bro. It's tied for the lowest expense ratio S&P 500 ETF. And look at that. It's pretty much at all-time highs. You know, you buy this, you should just get 8% of your money back every year. Recently, the S&P's been returning a lot more than 8% a year. But yeah, the you're not trying to get rich quick with these ETF. You know, the goal is to just turn $100 in 1 year, you know, turn it from 100 to 108, and then you compound it. Then it goes from 108 to 120. Compound that 120 to 150. You know, you kind of get the idea. So I love the S&P 500. That great backbone to any portfolio. Just dollar cost average into that. You know, hey, I recommend if you're going to dollar cost average into something, make sure it's a high quality asset. Like look at this right here. I dollar cost average into this stock right here. I was buying it nearly every day. I was slowly buying the company, and you want to make point being here. You want to make sure you're buying a high quality stock, or you could, you know, don't forever dollar cost average into a big loser. But yeah. Oh yeah, so Oracle, wait, they reported earnings today, right? So they should be up or down. I remember talking about them before the market closed. Look at that. They're up 7%. So Oracle cloud business, you know, huge cloud player. Let's we can't look at their most recent earnings because they literally just reported earnings. But yeah, huge cloud business. You know, the cloud revenues 12 billion. I mean, they're also growing their margins as well. If you look at the revenue's up 6%, but the net income grew 22%. They're making 3 billion in net income a quarter. And if you look at the net margin right here, they have a 20% net margin, and it grew 15% previous year. You get a yield with this one, a near 1% dividend with the Oracle Cloud company. So yeah. Now, I do appreciate y'all being here. I'm gonna just do a quick stock portfolio update, and then I'm gonna head out of here. I really appreciate y'all being here. If you want to hit the subscribe button, please do. I'd really appreciate that. We'll be live tomorrow, same time. I stream every day. So if you want to hit the subscribe button, I really appreciate that. Here's my main taxable account right here. This is my dividend growth portfolio. So we're up 7% the past year. Every stock in here is in the S&P 500. Luckily, we are green on every holding. You know, we got Google, Meta, McDonald's, Constellation Energy, a huge nuclear play. We also have our Roth IRA over here. I'm just being quick with this. If go check out one of my more recent YouTube videos. I just made a video I have like 45 stocks. I go over every single one of the 45 stocks. And I tell you why I love them, why I like them. But yeah, here's my Roth IRA. We got a lot of the higher yielding names like a Main Street Capital. They have like a 5.5% monthly dividend. And then here we have our risk on portfolio. This is the Webull account. And if we look at all time in here, we've definitely underperformed the market because all time we're only up 6.9%. But yeah, we got some winners in here, some losers. UiPath. Again, my most recent purchase that I bought is T-Mobile. Bought them today and yesterday just as a dividend growth company. They'll probably just return like 7-8% a year. I just think they're decent, pretty safe at this valuation, 21 PE. And then lastly, we have our buy and hold portfolio. So this is our Moomoo account right here, where once I buy a stock in here, I tell myself I'm never going to sell it. Sometimes I do sell some companies, like I used to own Nike and then I sold it. But right now, I'm in love with all these holdings. I'm not going to sell any one of them. Like Coca-Cola Consolidated is also one of our most recent purchases. We just bought this one the past week here as a brand new position. But yeah, that was pretty much the portfolio. Hey, thanks again, David East. I really appreciate you. Jeff Mack. Yeah, have a great night, Jeff Mack. And Apex Plays, I really appreciate you too, dude. You know what? Since we're very last stock here, thanks for staying to the end, RG. I'll check you out. He said LYB stock. LYB. So, um, let's see. So, Lyndonell Basel Industries. So, I'll be quick. You know, $20 billion company. Let's see. The stock has done terrible recently. I wonder why. Whoa, they have a huge dividend right here, an 8.8% dividend, which is really high dividend. So, olefins and po- polyolefins, huh? So, intermediates, advanced polymer solutions. So, they might just sell like products, you know, a commodity. Oh, so here's why the stock. You're wondering, hey, why has LYB fallen so much? Oops, I just clicked off of it. If you're wondering why has LYB stock price, you know, what happened for it to go from, you know, 105 to 61? Well, this explains it right here. Unfortunately, if you look at the operating profit, which is what you really want to look at, the net income went negative, but it didn't really go negative. You want to look at operating. Anyway, it just collapsed, absolutely collapsed. It's down 82%. Last quarter, it was down 50% after being down 32% the previous year. This company used to make, no way, they were making 1 to 2 billion a quarter. Now in the most recent quarter, they only made 114 million. So actually they cannot afford the dividend, 8% yield, they can't afford that. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Again, appreciate y'all being here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Yo, Jesse Collins, I feel so bad. I'm ending the stream right now unless you spam a stock super quickly. But yeah, oh, they're in the plastics industry. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. They just sell a commodity, and I don't like. They just lost all their growth, all their profits just went away. So yeah, that is really unfortunate for the company. But anyway, sorry, Jesse. That's the end of the stream. I do hope all y'all have a great rest of your day. And if you want to support me, I don't sell anything. I don't have a course book, Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram. Only thing I ask is that you hit the subscribe button and check out my most recent YouTube videos. I just made a really interesting one. 3 high quality stocks to buy. Let me know what you think. I did a lot of research on them. I filmed it last night. Let me know what you think. See you later. Thanks again.